welcome back to the Python tutorial. And in this tutorial we'll be talking about strings. I told you that we'll be discussing every data type. So after the numbers there comes the turn of the strings. Okay, so strings in Python are surrounded by either the single quotation or the double quotation. We have been doing these things. Okay, so you can use this format or this one, it's up to you. And strings are really displayed using this print thing. Okay, and then assigning string to a variable, we have been initializing different variable with strings. So multi-line strings, so the strings can be in multi-lines. So one of the things that remember we have talked about in the comment thing, that Python commands can be written for a single line, you just use that format, and then for the multi-line thing you simply use triple quotation and then you just write a comment. Okay, and just to let you know, quotations can be double as well as single. Okay, and just like that you can simply create a multi-line string and just store that to a variable, just like this dummy text lorem ipsum blah blah blah. And same thing, use a print statement, run that to print that string to thing. Okay, to the screen. Okay, let's just move toward the other part. They're saying like a is declared with a string, and then you're using a print statement to print that string. Okay, note in the result the line breaks are inserted at the same position as in the code. Line breaks are inserted. Let's just talk about this thing, and let me just copy and paste this thing. Okay, I'm just trying to copy that part and then writing strings in Python. I'm just changing the position of that thing and now pasting all of the text. All they said was whatever method or whatever way you are storing a variable, a string to a variable, that would be followed as a print statement too. I mean, like, let's just set it like I'm using 3 spaces and then let's just print it. Okay, so the way that you would be storing the values would be the way that these values would be shown to the user. Okay, so the other thing was strings are like arrays. Okay, so we don't really know about arrays. So other programming languages normally has that array concept. Okay, so array would be you can just simply call as array is like a list of numbers or a list of characters. Okay, the string is basically a list of character, and that would be having a particular length too. Okay, so you can just simply check like how many characters does this list have. We can just simply type length, it's also a function, and then simply write the name of the variable whom you want to know the length of. Okay, so it's like 128 characters. Let's just remove these things too now, and now run it again, and then now see, so the 5 spaces were removed and now we have like 123 characters in our list. Okay, now so they are like arrays. Okay, so however Python does not have a character data type. Okay, we don't really have that one, although in other languages, I mean like in C++ we have a character data type in which will be, I told you, like, so char a equals to then the single quotation and then a, so that would be a data type. Okay, of character in a language C++, and that's how they store that thing. Okay, but we don't need that in Python, because Python, either you are storing a single character or a whole string. Python is treating it as a whole string. Okay, so however Python doesn't have that character. Okay, a single character, so it just simply store a single character things to a string with a length 1. Okay, yep. So square brackets can be used to access element of the string. Okay, and we'll be practicing this thing too, so they get the character of the position 1. Remember that. Yeah, one thing that I want to tell you guys, that let's just say if I want let's just say if I want something that is placed at the first position of a string. Okay, I mean like this is a string, my man is a string. Okay, and the first character is m. In order to access this first character, programming languages like Python, they store data, and in order to access the first value you have to give them the address of 0. Okay, although this what is the length of this character? So 1, 2 3 sorry 3 4 5 and 6, and this 3 is basically this space that is added. Okay, although this the complete size of that thing is like 6, which you can get access of length and then whatever inside this. It can be a variable name or it can be the whole string. Okay, but in order to access the first value, the counting really starts from like 0 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, so that's how the counting starts. So in order to access the first value, I mean, like, let's just say we have a string here, and in order to access this thing, I mean, like a, and then using the square brackets, I'm just asking for show me the position, show me the value or the number or the character that is stored at location 1. Okay, so that location 1 would be basically be showing me e. Okay, because the counting starts from 0. So looping through a string, so since the strings are arrays, I mean, like, they are like list of characters, they can loop through the character in a string with a for loop. Okay, so we don't really know about the for loop. We'll be speaking about these things, but remember we saw that no, that was like if condition, I guess. So let's just say the for loops would be a concept in Python that would be like that would be that would be like iterating over a whole list of a string or a whole string. Okay, so if you're using this for x, so x is basically a variable that you are assigning it from this whole string. So x in banana, so x in banana would means like x is b, the second time x would be a, and then so on till the last one. And the way that would be showing you the value would be like b, a, n, a, n, a. Okay, so that is how this print would be acting, because x is like initialized with it. So b banana was a string, and then x was calling every value using for loop. Okay, and you are just printing that thing to the screen, to the user. Okay, so talking about the string length, so the string, we have used this string length function too, and it's just basically telling us the size of string. Okay, now we'll be talking about this thing a little bit more too. And then if free is present in the following text. Okay, so this is a format in which you will be using like, so text is a variable storing a whole string and then using a print statement. I'm just using this format like free in text, print free in text. So it's basically would be that basically would be something which we used to call the results like boolean. Remember we use that is all number to a string, remember? So uh, free in text means if there is any variable or any text included in the whole string which is just as the text that I'm trying to find. Okay, so that would be showing me a result. So if that's present here, so the output would be true. Okay, so let's just practice these things. So x equals to my name is Kazi. Okay, and I want to print so one more thing that I just want to memorize you guys is that, so the value that was stored inside x was basically x with a smaller size, and I'm just printing x with a bigger one. Okay, so you have to be really sure about this thing too. So I'm just trying to print the value, that's a whole string, and now printing give me the fifth value of the string. So that would be from 0 1 2 3 4 5. The fifth value is like m. Okay, and then if I just want like print Kazi in x, because our sentence has word which is Kazi. So let's see things in a bit different way too. I mean, like, what if we want to test if something is not in a string? Okay, so Another way of checking if something is in a part of a string or not is like using this if condition. Okay, and just like the for loop, this is also a bit out of scope of this particular video right now, but let's see. So we have a string, and then we want to see if something is a part of the string or not. So if that free in text, then print yes, free is present. Okay, so yes, free is present is a message. Okay, and let's just practice that thing too. But yeah, it's really a bit out of scope of this text, but for forget for now. Okay, so if Kazi in X, then print Kazi is present. So remember, I'm using this ratio sign, and then automatically I'm getting a particular indentation sign. Okay, so let's just see, I'm just printing it, and yep, it's doing the same thing. Okay, and I'm getting a message of my own choice, but by default what I use right here, I just get a result in the boolean format. Okay, and now let's just see. So what if we want to see if something is not a part of anything? Okay, so we'll be talking about if else in the if else chapter 2. Okay, but let's see if something is not in a text. Okay, so the way of reading that thing is would be like print if let's just say, let's see if we have apple as a part of the string or not. So my name is Ghazi and we don't have apple, so it's true. So the best things are free, so that thing can also be tested using a if condition, and that way would be like if expensive not in text, then print the message that I want from the user. Okay, so for now the exercise part would be like you have to declare a variable my string with a multi-line string. Okay, and then you have to print the length of that string as well as the type of that particular variable. Okay, what type of that variable really is. I know we are declaring a type, but you have to print that inside. You have to show that to the user too. Okay, so that's all now. Okay, bye.